Hello, we are live for our very first Pro Singer Success Collective training, if you want to call it that, of 2026. All right, we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. Let's see. Yes, we are live. All right, welcome to the Pro Singer Success Collective. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you had an amazing holiday that was restorative and restful and fun and inspiring to be able to dive into 2026 because it is the start of the new year. I know you're full of energy and ideas for your singing, and I want to help you make sure that you achieve them. So right now, I know you're all excited, and for the next few weeks, Pro Singer Success Collective, my live videos are going to focus on the tools that you need to blaze out the gate and jumpstart your singing this year in the most powerful way. Because it is the start of the new year. And I know that you have things that you want to achieve, and you are full of energy and ideas of how you're going to do that to achieve the success that you want this year in your singing. And you're all excited about the things that you're going to do and how you're going to start. And then let me tell you what tends to happen. The fear starts to set in, and that little voice that starts to naysay you about all the reasons that you can't or you shouldn't do this or the other thing, which creates inertia. It creates a push and pull. It's paralysis. And that voice, that's the voice of your fear, not your truth or your power, but your fear. And boy, can it just get in there. And what it's really good at doing is creating excuses in the end that prevent you from forward motion. And so today, what I want to do is I want to talk about the very first thing that is an absolute must to get moving. And it is this: stop making excuses for why you are not where you want to be yet. Because what happens is excuses, they point the finger. But see, when you have one finger pointing at you, there's four other ones pointing right back. Okay, so maybe you've heard that, right? When I'm pointing out, I got four fingers pointing right back at me. But when you're making excuses, the problem is that you're just not empowered to take action on the things that you need to work on to improve your technique, to improve your mindset, to improve your performance skills, your impact, your income from your singing. And so the most insidious thing about excuses is that they prevent you from taking inspired action. And you're only going to get where you want to go when you take inspired action. So that's why the very first thing that we are going to do is we are going to annihilate the excuses. Do not go into 2026 with any more excuses. So if you're not happy with the level that you're singing at, or the level that your singing career is at, then stop making excuses and do something about it. So today, I want to look at the two most common excuses that I hear all the time that are sure to paralyze you if you continue to buy into them. And we're just going to annihilate them like right here, right now. So the first excuse that I hear all the time is, I don't have the money. I don't have the money to hire a professional producer if I'm a recording artist. I don't have the money to get studio time, to make a pro recording, to travel to auditions, to work with an expert teacher on a regular basis, to do the training program I know I need to do, et cetera, et cetera. I don't have any money. How many of you feel, if you're watching live or if you're watching in the replay, tell me in the chat, how many of you feel like you'd be so much farther along and so much more successful in your singing career if you just had the money to invest in yourself? Let me see a show of hands in the comments. Do you relate? Is that you? Like, if I only had the money to take lessons regularly or pay for studio time or hire a great producer, then I'd be where I want to go. So whatever it is, guys, here's the thing. I don't care if you have the money right now or if you don't have the money right now, because at the end of the day, I don't have the money. It's just an excuse. And I'm going to tell you why in a second. Because what I really, really, really want to know is, are you sick and tired of being where you are and the frustrations that you have? And are you ready to get where you want to go? Because if you are, and that's really true for you, then there is always a way for the committed. I have seen it in my own life. I have seen it in the journeys of my singers who are in the intensive training program. Guys, it is never about the resources. It is always about your resourcefulness. Hear me. If you are committed enough to get resourceful, then you will find a way to do the things that you need to do to move your singing career and your singing itself to the level that you want. So guys, while I understand that money is tight for a lot of people, I don't have the money is just an excuse run by your fear. And it's the fear of, well, what if I get resourceful? Like really put the pedal to the metal, get super creative, find the money, do a GoFundMe campaign, get a side job, ask, get a bank loan, whatever it is. And I invest in myself and it doesn't work. That's a very real and very common fear. And that's why I'm always talking about taking inspired action. Because if you're just like spending money on any action to feel like you're moving forward, that's not going to get you where you want to go. But if you want to be a great singer and a great performer and break through to that level of impact and income that you know is available to you, if you want to have any chance at all at being world class and making that kind of impact, then you've got to shift the mindset and invest in yourself in a inspired and aligned way. I cannot think of a single business, any kind of business, that ever became successful without initial investment. And you are no different as a singer. And so that's how you give yourself the best possible shot. Do not invest willy-nilly, okay? Do your research, do your due diligence into who you're going to work with, the opportunities that you are going to invest in, whether it's a teacher, a producer, someone to direct a music video, a training program, whatever it is, search out the best program, the best collaborator, the best people, the best things that feel the most aligned to you in terms of your vision, and then do whatever it is that you have to do to work with them. That's when the resourcefulness comes in. That's what it means to get resourceful. And in my experience, I'm just going to be honest, I don't have the money. It's just an excuse for people who are not committed, or maybe they are committed, but they're just scared. I was going to say SHITLESS. They're just scared the crap out of them to get resourceful, because what if I get resourceful and I find the money and then I invest in myself and it doesn't work? I get that. That's a real fear. And it's true. You can get resourceful and put yourself out there and you still may not succeed in the way you want. There are no guarantees in this business, guys. None. No guarantees. Well, except for one. What I can guarantee you is that if you do not get resourceful and you do not invest in the things that you need to move the needle with your voice and your singing career, I can guarantee you that you will stay exactly where you are and you will never have what you want. That I can 100% guarantee. So no more excuses, guys. No more excuses in 2026. I don't have the money is not an excuse. Go get resourceful, okay? Like, I can think of so many examples of singers who are succeeding at levels that they could not imagine before, who I have worked with in our intensive training program, who, like, finding the money to do that kind of training felt like an absolute mountain to them until they broke it down and they got resourceful. I've had singers do GoFundMe campaigns. I have had singers who have taken on an extra side job. One of our singers, he's a very successful Broadway artist. He tours a lot, and we worked with him maybe about 4 or 5 years ago now. And he was bartending at the time in a big city, and he was like, "Okay, instead of getting scared, why don't I take one more shift a week?" He knew a shift would bring him about $300 in tips. He was working at a high-end bar. If I do one more shift a week, that's an extra $1,200 a month that I'm saving. In 6 months, he was in the program. And a couple months after that, he landed a role in a touring Broadway show and an equity show. That was something that had never happened to him before, okay? And another singer who was like, you know what? I have a really good credit score. I'm going to go get a 0% interest credit card. No interest for the first 21 months. That was a Wells Fargo card. I'm going to work with this producer and make this record that I want to make. It was $10,000. I'm going to put it on the credit card. I have 21 months to pay it off. And she did. And she's licensed songs to like major brands. Okay. And she made that money back tenfold because she wasn't willing to give into the excuse of, I don't have the money. So guys, go get resourceful. There's always a way for the committed. I'm on my soapbox about it because I've just seen it time and again. Don't fall into that trap. The second excuse, let's move on, that I hear all the time is, well, the industry is just corrupt. It's totally rigged. It has nothing to do with the talent. The industry is only about who you know. It's a boys' club, like, you know, the industry, blaming the industry. And by the way, guys, I get it. It is a tough industry to break into and be a part of. There are so many talented artists out there who have so much to offer, so much talent, and have been beaten down by the nature of this industry. But what if there were a way to sing and perform that let you rise above all of that? I know from my own experience, from over 20 years of helping singers become successful and break through, that there are many, many ways that we get in our own way that we are unaware of. And traditional training and traditional programs, they don't even begin to address it. But when singers get in touch with that and they peel back the layers and they realize that there are ways that they've been thinking and singing that they're not even aware of that has actually been holding them back from blossoming into success, regardless of what the industry thinks, then what feels impossible or felt impossible before all of a sudden becomes possible. And it has nothing to do with the industry and everything to do with the way you are thinking and engaging with your own journey, your audience, and the opportunities that you have and get to create. So connecting to people and making an impact with your voice and your music, guys, it has never been easier to do outside of the industry than it is now, right? You can release a record on your own. You can book gigs on your own. You do not need a record label. You can, go to open call auditions. And if you know how to make a big impact, you will get a call back. You do not need an agent. You guys, the singers that I work with, they're doing this stuff every day. But it's really easy to like point fingers and blame a corrupt industry, which I get, by the way. It is a difficult industry in many, many ways. But the huge tragedy and what breaks my heart is when talented singers throw up their hands and they blame the corrupt industry. And when they do that, you miss a giant opportunity to empower yourself and look at what you could be doing differently that might move the needle on having the voice and the career that you want despite the industry. So you give up. Because why would you do the hard work to get where you want to go if the game is just rigged? You won't. So you give up. The world misses out on your gifts. You miss out on living your passion and your purpose. And you risk living the rest of your life as that jaded, bitter, resentful person because you're not doing what you know you were put on this planet to do. All of that because you bought into an excuse that prevented you from taking action to get what you want. Guys, a difficult industry, a corrupt industry, it is just not an excuse anymore for not living the dream because at this point, there are just too many ways to do it outside of that context in the industry. But you need to have a rock solid foundation in your vocal technique, in your artistry, and most importantly, in your mindset to do it. The problem is most singers, they don't realize where the weak links in their foundations are. They don't have the right kind of support that they need to address this foundation. And so they feel really alone in trying to figure all this out on their own. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I'm out here shouting from the rooftops, right? Because you guys, no talented singer, none of you should have to go one more day feeling like You're doing everything that you can to make this career and this dream happen, but feeling like you're constantly coming up short. It's an awful feeling and an awful way to live. And you don't want to feel that way. And that's why talented singers give up. But there is a way out of the stuck, guys. There is a way out of the stuck. That is what I am an expert at. So stop with the excuses and take a look at what you really, really want. And then do whatever you need to do to get resourceful to get there. If you approach 2026 from that frame, your career and your voice will look a heck of a lot different this time next year. And if you feel like you would like some clarity and on maybe some support on what is stopping you, on how to get out of the stuck, then I want to invite you to book a call with me. I want to invite you to open your mind to a different way of approaching your training. Traditional training does not address this stuff. We do, which is why our singers succeed, okay? And, well, so let me do one thing. Let me do that first. So first things first, if you would like to book a call with me, I'm going to put the link in the chat. I just had it. Here it is. Okay. Oop. Okay. Here we go. Sorry, guys. I had copied it and now it doesn't want to, but I'll put it right in here. Okay. So I'm putting the link in the chat on Facebook. And of course, Facebook wants to be slow. You guys, this call is for you if you're resonating with what I'm talking about and you're like, but Arden, I need help. Like, I'm too close to all my junk and I'm walking into all the potholes because I just don't know how to shift this and get the clarity that I need on my own. Like, that's what we're really good at. And so we're going to talk. We're going to talk for 20 minutes and we're going to get clear on where you are, where you want to go, the gap between, and I will walk you through step by step how we train our singers and the things that you need to know to be able to bridge that gap so that 2026 looks a lot different and you have a lot more success and opportunities. And if you are interested in training with us that way, we'll show you what that looks like. And if not, that's okay too. I don't understand why I can't make a comment here. Okay, I will do it after the fact. If you're watching on YouTube though, the link to book a call is in the video description on YouTube. Okay, let's see. I see some people commenting and I just want to address some questions. Let's see. So Shelly Santiago, I see your question. You're watching on YouTube. And Shelly's asking, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. If you believe she's asking, do I believe that if a voice doesn't sound good, it can sound good or have a chance to sound good? Absolutely. Like, if you're working with an expert who really knows what they're doing, like, I firmly believe that I can take any voice and you will sound better than you did before. Now, everybody's born with different talent. Everybody's born with different, sort of amount of God-given gift, right? And so any expert teacher will be able to help you to maximize that gift to the maximum of its potential. Now, somebody may have a gift that the maximum of their potential takes them to sing at local bars and make a pretty good living, being able to do that 3 or 4 times a week. Somebody else's God-given gift takes them to win a Grammy, right? We can't control that. But what I absolutely do know, and I stand behind, is that, speaking for myself with my experience and my training, is that as long as you can match pitch, if somebody is tone deaf, it's really hard. I can't help you. But as long as you can match pitch, that I can help you find the maximum potential of your voice. And any expert who really knows what they're doing, especially like us, because we work holistically with your technique, your mindset, and your artistry, can tap the maximum potential of their voice. And that is what a teacher is there for. That's the purpose of the teacher. Okay, let's see. Oh, you're so sweet, Andre. I see Andre in the chat. Thank you for the props, Andre. All right, let me see if I can post this. I do not understand why Facebook is not letting me. It's telling me I can't post a comment. Something went wrong. Okay, I'll do it after the fact. So here's the bottom line, guys. No more excuses. No more excuses for 2026. Okay, like I'm sharing this with you because I want to give you the best possible platform to jump from now that we're in January of 2026. Oh my gosh, I almost said 2025. The other thing that I want to mention is that on Thursday, if you guys are on our email list, you will get an email. And also on YouTube, we will be posting. So if you're on my channel here, you'll see videos. And in the Pro Singer group, we will be posting. I'm doing a mind-body breakthrough vocal reset. Okay. So this is a really great way to get out of the stuck. And we're doing this in 2 weeks, in mid-January, the 22nd and 23rd of January. It's a live 2-day online free masterclass series. Okay. It's about how you hardwire the mental edge and the vocal reliability so that your singing breaks through, holds steady, and gets you to the yes, to that maximum potential that gets noticed, that breaks through the noise. Okay. So I want you to keep an eye on it yet. Registration opens on Thursday, and that's coming up. And because I'm going to explain in that really essential mind-body tools for you to break through the excuses, for you to break through the sabotage in your technique and your performances and your ability to land big opportunities, hit your targets, deliver when it counts, so that you blaze into 2026 with so much more power and success in your singing that wasn't available to you before. So keep an eye out for that coming on Thursday. Everywhere that we are, in your inbox, in your text, on YouTube channel, on Facebook. And let me see if I can post the comments. I still can't. Facebook is not happy with me today. I can't post in the comments. I'll do it after we finish the live. So exciting to really be here to support you all in 2026. We are 6 years into the 2020s, 2026. Do not waste another year, or God forbid, another 2 years, 4 years, 6 years. Let's get you moving with a strategy and the support that works. So get on my calendar, book a discovery call. I will see you guys next week live. Bye, everybody.